Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Navamsa series of the week. And this week we're going to be covering Mercury in the ninth house of your D9 Navamsa chart, as in what happens when Mercury is in the ninth house of the D9 chart, not the birth chart. D9, the Navamsa, is the most important chart in Vedic astrology. It shows the strength of your planet, strength of your karma, your fortune, and most definitely your marriage, your married life, your bhog in the married life. So that's what we're going to discuss today. And if you do not know, if you have Mercury in this sign and what your other astrological placements are, including your Navamsa, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report under the shop section, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy. So, Moon in the ninth, or Mercury in the ninth house of your D9. So, ninth house of D9 is actually very important. Besides the first and seventh axis, ninth house is the most important. Why? Because it represents the bhagya of marriage, the luck of marriage. What are you supposed to get from marriage? It is the bhog of marriage. Fine, your first house is not so great. Your seventh is not so great. Fine, you have, your fair share of fights and disagreements and differences of opinion with your spouse. Your spouse doesn't give you what you want. But ninth house shows the bhagya, meaning you being with that person, is your fortune changing or not? Are you becoming spiritual? Are you getting the sustenance that you need, the luck that you need? Because marriage originally is not just about wealth, but it's supposed to give you some sense of divinity, some sense of a higher God, where a person can actually thank you for giving me this marriage. Most people don't thank. Most people feel like, God, why did you do this to me? So it's not just ninth house becomes like in the birth chart, house of religion and father. This is more like, how does the marriage changes your belief system? How does marriage changes your divinity? Because some people before marriage may not be religious at all, maybe just atheist. After marriage, they start going to church and temple, and they start, worshiping every morning. Why? What changed? Perhaps their dasha changed? Perhaps. But if it didn't, then what's going on? Well, it is the chemical reaction of two people coming together within the marriage. Now, if you're, let's say, single, then definitely as you progress in your age, even if you're like a brahmachari, as you progress in your age, ninth house will still work for that purposes. So you have Mercury here. And Mercury is a very curious planet. It's not so higher and divine as his, stepfather Jupiter. Mercury is more like has the DNA of the moon. It's very curious, very quick moving. Wants to go this, wants to do that, wants to learn this, wants to learn that. So when it's in the ninth house, a person is curious and suddenly has interest towards wanting to learn higher philosophy, wanting to learn higher knowledge, wanting to even, especially Mercury in the ninth house can show a person after marriage may be inclined towards wanting to attain their master's degree, going for additional higher education. And Mercury being the original third house. So in the birth chart, if you look at it with the Aries perspective, Mercury is the original third lord of communication, travel. And it's also the natural sixth lord of daily work routines, daily work life, accounts, obstacles, dealing with competition, uh, using logical and statistical steps to take care of obstacles. So just knowing that fact of Mercury being in the ninth house, a person finds great luck in dealing with their obstacles. Mercury doesn't have to rule your third or sixth house. It can rule any house. But one becomes intelligence. How do I deal with this? One actually has faith in God in trying to help and trying to seek help of the divine to resolve their issue, and that is very powerful. As much as I would have been against this maybe 10 years ago, I have gotten repeated confirmation of when you ask a divine for something, it answers you. But it wants you to just ask. with love and with the intention that you know they exist. Because God is right here on the crown chakra. You don't need to go to a temple, you don't need to go to a church or a mosque. It's right there. And this is why they say it's within you. It's not really within you, it's like, just on top of your head. So Mercury is very open-minded towards this. Mercury becomes curious. Oh, what is this? Yeah, I want to know. I want to know about the Bible. I want to know about Bhagavad Gita. And from there, they don't realize that when you learn about higher divinity, it strengthens your luck. Whenever Mercury and Jupiter will be in the 9th house and you start focusing on divinity, you will see how it just naturally increases your luck. You're like, why is it suddenly things are happening? And you're reading some spiritual book. Let's say you're reading autobiography of a yogi. You're, reading like Ramayana. You're reading the Bible, and you get into it, and you're curious because you will find curiosity. If this is your correct Navamsa, you will find curiosity. Now, one thing I'm not discussing here is what if malefic planets here? What if other benefic planets here? That will obviously change. Either one will have to learn the hard way, one will have an easier path to understanding the divinity, one will may try to learn but just will be lost and will not like to deal with those things. So all of these things occur with Mercury, and especially communication becomes beautiful. For you, communication, you realize that is the key to maintaining the luck of the marriage and the positivity in the marriage. So regardless of whatever lagna you have, Mercury is going to aspect the 3rd house. It's going to make you very good and clever with your communication with your spouse or with anybody. Now, one thing we do see also is that there's natural interest towards even learning music with this particular Mercury in the 9th house. You will love traveling to foreign lands, but one thing happens that your communication with the younger sibling or neighbors becomes very oblivion. It's quite confusing communication that comes out sometimes. Perhaps you're not able to communicate as much with that particular individual, or you may say something wrong, especially with your sibling, something online. So that's something you just want to be careful of with this Mercury. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Mercury in the 9th house of your Navamsa. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these videos. And if you want to know where your Mercury is placed, check out the links here. Check out the astrological report. Otherwise, I'm going to be trying to make my Jupiter video again when this audio ran out. I'm pretty sure the audio probably ran out in this, and I'm going to have to film it again. Let's see. It's been happening quite a lot because Saturn is in Purva Shada and directly looking opposite to Punarvasu. So I thought that Rahu coming out of Punarvasu will calm this thing down, but no, it's Shani now looking. Because remember, opposite nakshatra work even heavier. So yeah, let's see if this works. Bye-bye.